Today I'm gonna just take you for a walk around the Meatpacking district. I'm down on by Westbeth over here by Jane Street, and I'm gonna walk up to probably like 15th Street to the Chelsea Market. Just cover that little area along the West Side Highway. I mean, there used to be so much stuff down here. Now I'm basically like scraping together some last minute ideas. There's really not much to see in terms of like what used to be down here, as far as like, I mean, there used to be so much abandoned stuff too, but now everything is, I mean, there's not much. There's just got some marker tags here and there. Maybe if you look really hard, you'll see some old stuff, but yeah, this building is Westbeth. It's a huge residence, but has some crazy history. I don't know every little bit of detail word for word, but from what I've heard, just from talking to people over the years, Vin Diesel grew up here. His family, I think, still lives here. And a lot of graffiti writers are from here as well. I believe Me62, who recently passed away, I think he was from here. But I'll show you some old tags that are still over here. I know there's some old tags up on the roof, but I'm not gonna go up there. It's not so easy, but these tags are still here, which is kind of crazy. So, Cinch, WKS. I mean, that's gotta be early 90s. You can see 98. Actually that says 93. It's crazy. Arrow. That says 88, but I don't think that. I think that's fairly newer. Mecker. I just noticed this. I'm somewhat familiar with Mecker. Tell me if I'm wrong for publicly talking about this. Oh, there's another tag, Fright. But I mean, it's completely irrelevant at this point. But the movie director Robert De Niro, I believe that's Robert De Niro's son. You know, I came around when I think he stopped writing, but I knew a lot of people that knew him. So I used to always hear people talking about, you know, hanging out with Mecker. And if I'm wrong, you know, correct me. But I believe that's just an interesting fact. It's a P2 tag also. P2 WKS. That's pretty old. That's a pretty cool tag. That guy's definitely legendary. You know, I'll put $100 bet this building is gonna come down in the next 12 months. It's like the last I mean, it's one of the last original buildings in this neighborhood that hasn't been knocked down. And it's actually still a meat factory. I mean, this whole neighborhood used to just be like buildings like this and covered in graffiti and, I mean, prostitution, like. Yeah, along that pier, they used to have the Rocksteady crew reunion parties until it got too expensive for them to. The city was charging them way too much or something. They had to move it to Newark, where Newark let them throw the parties for free. But then I think the whole thing, they put an end to the parties, the reunions, I guess, for whatever reason. I don't know the exact reason, but they don't do the Rocksteady crew reunions anymore. This is crazy too. I did a Highline video maybe a couple months back. I might have deleted it. I'm gonna do another one. I didn't really like the way it came out. And I explained some stories about the Highline. I'm not gonna carry those stories over on into this video. I'm gonna just do another Highline video. But just real quick, this glass building is standing where a pretty iconic building used to be. It was this huge blue building that was covered in graffiti. It was so iconic, and I had something on it, and I have a crazy story to go along with that, but I'm gonna save that for the Highline video. I just want to walk around the streets around here. Yeah, this is gonna be pretty freaking cool. I mean, I read a quick article on it, but it cost a lot of money. Wonder if any urban explorers tried to climb that crane yet. It's a great night to be out though. It's a great afternoon. It's really nice, hazy, overcast. It's not too cold, it's not too hot. This is another building I'm anticipating to be opened to the public. I got to explore it right before they started. I think it was abandoned, but nothing was happening with it. It was just like an abandoned building. And then on the back of the building, facing the river, there was this big sign that said the City of New York, and the letters are all like crooked and broken, and I thought it was really cool. I got a picture of that. I might have some video, but I'm gonna save that for when the building's done, because I wanna be standing out there doing like a before and after. This is actually a cool little secret spot here. Basically, Ernie Velez painted these stairwells. These kind of look like they've been touched up a little, but I remember Pink and Smith also painted a lot of this inside of the Chelsea market. It's pretty cool. The lights turn on every floor you go on. I was like, it's dark in here. It's pretty cool. Ernie Velez, 97. It's really cool. I mean, these walls, they've been here when this was just there's a bar downstairs. I mean, there's so many other stairwells in this entire building that are gone, but they used to have a lot of pieces. Actually, there's a photo studio. It's called Highline across the way. It used to be called Seco. They had like pieces on every floor and in the freight loading dock and everything. There's a card loading dock on the other side of this building, but the gate's down. Where Lady Pink and Smith have murals in the loading dock. This is insane. This used to be a lumber yard. This was just like a huge lumber yard. Now it's like one of the world's biggest Starbucks. They sell pizza in the Starbucks. That's crazy. I mean, I don't mean to say that's not that crazy, but they're just taking it to another level.
Well, there's some art here. No,
I got a coffee, but there's some art.
So an old friend of mine, the artist Faust, he does the calligraphy, the giant calligraphy murals now. Originally a graffiti writer. His partner was a writer named Shore. He passed away. A lot of people familiar with the Shore and Faust tags. About the beginning of the time when Faust was really doing the large-scale calligraphy murals, he was invited into the Soho House to do one in the stairwell. And he made me keep it like a promise to not tell anybody or put the pictures out there. He invited me to take a picture of it, and it was really cool. It was really intricate. I don't know how to describe it, but he invited me and also Martha Cooper. I think we're the only ones that had pictures, and him, and I might have been a few other friends, but I asked him recently if I could post the picture on the Instagram or whatever, and he said actually, yeah, that's fine because it's not there anymore. So the stairwell, they said they buffed the stairwell, it's not there anymore. I'm gonna try to upload a picture of it if I could find one. But yeah, I remember that when I passed that. It's like a private club. It's a private club you gotta be a member of. So this used to be a bar called Hogs and Heifers, a crazy dive bar. Like, it's like bras hanging from the ceiling. It was kind of wild. Now they got the Vans store here. This happened a few years ago. I mean, this whole strip is just insane with the businesses have taken over. And Zoo York, actually, ironically, in terms of skateboarding, their original headquarters were here. This was the original doors, freight elevator doors, to go up to the Zoo York office. I went there once. I hung out in the Zoo York office once. I'm gonna make another video explaining that story. I'm gonna do a whole thing with the skating. I'm not gonna incorporate into this video, but there's also a brand called DQM that more people might be familiar with, which was Dave's Quality Meat. And he had a store, a sneaker shop, skate shop, and Dave used to work for Zoo York. And when they went separate ways, Dave kept this name. This was actually a meat shop right here, Dave's Quality Veal, but he just did a play on the name and started his own business. He's definitely a really cool guy. I see him around a lot. Definitely legendary. There's some political conflicts with that phrasing. I don't want to get into it. I know there was a split with the partners, but the point of the story is that's where it was all based from. So it's a cool little history fact. So 2012, they had a pop-up art show in this space. It was curated by Nemo Labrizzi. He's curated a lot of great art shows. And they had a wall. It was actually right here, the wall. It was a long wall, and it was a collaboration between Phase 2 and Futura. And I've never seen a collaboration between those two before. Most legendary graffiti writers probably ever to exist on Earth. And they collabed on a wall that was here. And Ramel Z was in the show also, but he passed away already. And Ramel Z had some pieces in the show, and I think a few other artists. It was like a 4 or 5 man group show. And when I came to the opening, I came like an hour early to take pictures before the crowd. And I remember Phase 2 he was standing. He was down a little ways, like I don't think he wanted to mingle with the crowd at the time. And he was talking with a friend, and I was kind of starstruck. I was like, I wanted to get my black book signed, but I didn't want to bother him. He seemed like he was having an important conversation. But I ended up meeting him a few years later, but that's a crazy memory now every time I pass here. So that just about does it for my Meatpacking District video. Just wanted to do a quick little lap around, to share a few stories. I mean, there's so many stories to share, but this was a pretty good one, I think. Catch you on the next video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment if you like this video, and I'll catch you on the next video.